Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video, and it is once again that time to update the tier list. So this month we have the Determination to Prosper team led by Maribel with some units on the team. I've been pretty vocal about my distaste for this overall meta. So if you came in here expecting high placements, I'm afraid you're gonna have to look somewhere else. Maybe one of those JP tier lists where everybody is triple S rank, regardless of how good they actually are. But we have a few units to use, and I do want to leave with the disclaimer that I do not have tier or Clayman. And so this ranking is purely based on their kits and not me actually using them. Once I do eventually pull them, whenever, 3, 6 months down the line, I will update wherever I decide to place them on this list. But for now, this is just subjectively looking at what's on paper on their kits, not actually having used them. But I guess we'll start off with the easiest way to go, and that is the free-to-play Rieger. And you know what? The shining star of the Prosper team. Why? Because he's very generic, right? An orange to blue convert and a double alt swap. There is no limitation to determine to prosper or, weird kind of gimmicks. It's just I can convert and I can alt swap, and there you go. It's what made Gobta so good, and that's why he's up here, and it's why Rieger is so good, and he will be up here. They pretty much covered each other's asses. Gobta takes care of the greens, Rieger takes care of the oranges, you have a single alt swap, you have a double alt swap. And so if you need a team that needs converters and alt swaps and you don't have any of the premium units, well, here you go. We got two fantastic units. Now, you can't get Gopta right now, and after this month is over, you won't be able to get Rieger either until they update it and make the game more friendly. That's a different area of issue, and that's why the survey is up right now, so we can air our grievances. But I think Rieger is a very, very, very good free-to-play unit, and I really do hope they continue that trend. Protectors. Leadus, however, whatever subtitle translator bot they want to use. She's okay. Guaranteed guard does help. 25% chance to super guard can help 25% of the time. She doesn't protect against alts, though. I mean, that's the problem that Maribel has. The skill point gain on blues is only 50%, so it means your blue orb gives you like 7 SP instead of instead of 5 or something like that. Oh, it's awful. She's okay. She's not breaking the world, but she will protect you from a lot of damage. Just not alts, which, not a lot of protectors really do anyways. So the fact that she can at least protect you a little bit is nice, and it's not limited, it's just everybody gets guard. Maribel is slightly better. Slightly better. Guaranteed guard, guaranteed super guard, the passive skill reset for every unit, not just the front line, and then the 300 SP gain on blues does help a lot, and she can do a lot. It's just that her team in particular, it's a stacking meta. The Jubilee wants you to go 8 turns, and 7 of those turns you're going to use Lumi's Orb Change. And then it gets really expensive, and Maribel does not raise skill cap at all. She doesn't give you extra skill points every time you use her. She passively resets, and that's just not good enough sometimes. So she, I think, is more held back by her team. Apart from that, she has the same issues that Ritas does, is that she'll protect you from normals and not big-time ults. But she does make it a little bit easier to do things than Ritas herself. So, decent, hampered by a terrible team, unfortunately. And now we move to the battle units. Light Shuna exists down here in the F tier for trash, because she's just not really that good. Her skill fusion gave her stun dodge crit resistance down. Awesome. I guess it pushes her one tier up to just not great. I don't foresee myself ever using Light Shuna on any team. where I need an orb changer and also crit resistance down and a stun dodge because no one friggin' stuns. So, congratulations, you moved up one tier from the bottom. Tyr and Clayman, I'm gonna, again, this is with the disclaimer that they're just DPS characters. I have not actually used them. They're going to go into the same tier, and that is decent but limited, alongside a lot of the other DPS characters that come out every meta. Ainz, Rimuru, Jean and Blanc, Exalted Champion Milim, Diablo. You know, they have very, very small support buffs on them for the rest of the team. It's not super impactful to where they deserve to be run on every water team or every dark team, but they are good single target EX nukers for dark and water. Both teams needed single target nukers, so good for them. They're not going to see a whole lot of play outside of those teams because they are pretty much locked to those. So decent but limited. They're good on one team if they're the priority. Nowhere else. Okay. Let's start from the back. Rimuru, the Earth single target DPS. God knows Earth needed more single target DPS characters. He's got the crit resistance down based on his HP scaling. He's got the extra 150 skill points plus the personal magic buff. Yeah, he's gonna go right next to them up here. Very situational. The HP scaling, if you're not running a heal team, you're never gonna see max value of that. His personal magic buff is personal. So his crit resistance down is great. Cool and everything. And guaranteed crits for Earth and Fire. Still the two weakest elements in the game, even though we got, 2 units of each this meta. It's still not super great. So, decent but limited. He's a DPS character. He'll only be useful in a DPS setting. I'm not going to use him to support anything else. And he's not like he can fully support anything else either. Lumi. Earth and Fire orb changes only. Okay, we're off to a good start. And the heal for Commander and Prosper teams can be helpful. I don't know why I put her next to Rimuru. Can be helpful. She is double limited in her entire kit. It's either 2 elements or two category teams. That does not make a good unit. Especially since, again, Earth and Fire is still pretty in the garbage. I would not consider this meta like the change of the guard that Earth and Fire needed. They need like one more good meta before we even start to discuss that. Yeah, the heal skill, super limited. Commander does have a lot of units because it continually gets buffed, but I don't really need a healing character on those teams, right? She brings no damage support whatsoever to other teams that are mostly damage focused. Primal Demon as Diablo, he's on Commander. He wants damage. All the Rimurus, most of them want damage except for one. The actual Commander meta itself is 8 turns of stacking damage. And guess what? On that Commander team, none of them are Earth or Fire. So, can't orb change then. Congratulations, Lumi. You exist to be mid, just like some other Lumies, or even some worse Lumies. Why am I not putting her down here at situational at best? Because she does make you invincible. And again, Commander does have a lot of units. Prosper, yeah, not so much. But Commander does have a lot of units, and the fact that you can be invincible for 3 turns makes her slightly more useful than these Lumies down here. And that is legitimately the only reason. If her revived heal skill was also locked to Earth and Fire, I'd be tempted to put her like somewhere bridging the gap between C and D. But she gets to be in the B class. If you want to argue that, then be my guest. I don't want to use her. I don't want to use her anymore. And that leaves Elmesia, who has a really, really good first skill and a really, really bad second skill. And there's just no other way to put that. Elmesia's first skill is the alt buff and the alt resistance down. 100%. That's pretty hefty. 70% alt damage up for Earth and Fire. And we've been talking about how Earth and Fire is not super great right now. But she is an AoE EX Earth DPS character who can now buff herself technically, right? She'd give herself the alt, she'll give generic alt resistance down. Alright, that's pretty good. Her second skill, the HP cap increase, is only useful if you have Lumi or you have dedicated healers on that team. And apart from that, it's not a good skill. Right? If you have no healer, then great. You've increased your maximum HP threshold, but you haven't actually increased your current level of HP. So it's a waste of skill points, unless you're going for that 15% enamor effect, which I'm not using. I barely got to use her skill at all in Jubilee, because the team just couldn't do it. It just couldn't do it. So Elmesia has a pretty good first skill and a shit second skill. Can be helpful. Can she be your AoE Earth Nuker and have a pretty good buff for herself? Yes. Is she going to bring a whole lot of value to other teams where you need her as a support? Maybe not. Because again, her alt buff is locked to Earth and Fire, and her HP skill is actually crap if you don't have her next to Lumi. So, she's not going to be up here in decent but limited. She's down here, can be helpful. She can be situationally helpful in a Jubilee fight 2 months from now in a normal battle 2, where they want you to nuke with an Earth character. Apart from that, you're never going to use her again. And that, is really the case with a lot of characters in this game, is that they'll be useful for a Jubilee fight here and there down the line. Otherwise, why would you ever run them again? And it's a problem the game has. Let's not get that confused. It's a big problem. Beatdown battles don't return, so I would never have a use for her again in a PvE kind of setting or an unranked Jubilee setting. But yeah, this meta is full of meh units. All right. So that is my update for this month. Rimuru clocks in at the highest of the summonable characters. He's just okay. You two are mid. Rieger is good. Rieger is good. Congratulations. Out of this entire month, we got a really, really good free-to-play character. So at least people who are playing during this month of July 2024 have access to a very powerful free-to-play unit. And then you have Maribel. Creepy child. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I have actually one other change to make, and that is I'm moving Idol Shuna down. I cannot remember the last time I've used Idol Shuna. It's not a good thing for a character that I put in double S. No. I'm going to drop her down a couple tiers, even past really good to decent but limited. The double alt swap is fine. We have Shizu. Alright, we're getting a lot more alt swappers in the months gone. She came out for Christmas. It's now July. It's been a hot minute since she's been relevant. Yeah. The synergy, 55 points. I mean, we just got Guy, 25 points. It's heavily limited, but it's almost half the cost. So, Idol Shuna, down to A tier. And anyone else that I feel like dropping... yeah, not... Maybe Albus and Aqua and Shizu. Maybe I'll hit them next month. Yeah, I'll drop Shizu down. And I'll drop Albus down. Really haven't had a lot of good Pierce teams that need her anymore. I'm happy with this. Alright, so we dropped Albus, Shizu, and Shuna down. Otherwise, that's about all I want to do. So, again, let me know what you guys think of these rankings, but that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.